Hi everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. Looking at Jerry's Homelite EZ here. It's one of the old ones, late 60s. This is the EZ 2.1 cubic inch, manual oiler only. Pretty good shape. Starter's got some wear. I mean, both decals marking it off are gone, but you know, for all things considered, pretty good shape. Went through this. What we talked about was needing to go through the carburetor, which was absolutely true. Needed a fuel hose, duckbill valves. The spark plug that was in it was a BM6A, so that's an NGK, yeah. Wrong plug. This has a gasket, crush washer. These do not use that. This has a tapered seat in the head, so DJ6J is what's appropriate for this model, so we got that in there. Yeah, so I got through everything. I was just getting ready to test run it and decided I'd fix this muffler. Pulling it over had good compression, but this muffler cover was all jacked up. It was cinched down over the top of the body. Obviously the body had hit something, jacked it up pretty good. So in the process of bending that all out, I of course took a peek at the piston, and there is some pretty decent carbon scoring on this side. Now it hasn't collapsed the piston over the rings, and you know, it could run for a long time like this. And you can tell it's a great pop. I mean, it's passing the hang test just fine. But it wouldn't be fair not to at least mention that it is there. So, talked about it a bazillion times. I haven't gone on one of my soapbox rants for a little while, but don't use too much oil in your mix. Yes, that cap says a half pint of oil with every gallon of gas. You don't need that. Oil today is so much better than it was in the 60s. This True Fuel stuff is not what I'm tuning it on, but this 50-to-1, using a good synthetic like the Stihl HP Ultra, you can do that. Using a great synthetic like Amsoil Sabre, you could go to 100-to-1 with it. I run Amsoil Sabre in all of my saws at 80-to-1. I don't have trouble with it. Haven't for going on almost 8 years now. Now, I switched a while back to tuning customer saws on the Stihl HP Ultra, the synthetic, at 50-to-1. And why I can't find a little bottle of that to hold up, I don't know. I got it stashed somewhere. But trust me, that's what I'm tuning your guys' saws on, is that. So, it should be relatively close in tuning, not accounting for elevation, you know, when a saw comes back to you. But anyway, back to my original point. You don't need a heavy 16-to-1 mix in these saws. You just don't. That's old school. And yes, it worked, but it also did stuff like this, where it built up carbon that would get jammed between the muffler port bridge and the piston and tear it up. And that's exactly what happened on this saw. Now it's ready to go, and we're going to do a test run so you can hear it, but to prevent further damage, you want to run you know, a 50-to-1 in a saw like this, or any saw. Clean up the carbon, and away you go. It should be warm enough it doesn't need choke. Okay, I'm actually impressed with how good this saw idles, and you saw there was no change of speed side to side like that. So these crank seals appear to be in excellent shape. There is no leakage right now. So anyway, Jerry, I know you're anxious to get this saw back. I want to give it at least a day of sitting around, and then do another cold start just to make sure there's no goofiness that's been missed. But realistically, this thing should be heading your way very soon.